I'm going to introduce the presenter for today. You all know Martin, IMD Martin Ndiho. It was through him that we got to know of this deal, at least in Ghana and our team. I'm told that there were other people who also came around. But for Team All Guns Blazing that have made Ghana proud, produced the fastest international marketing director on the face of the planet in World Ventures, this team member came from, Martin's team, and he has been the leader, leading the whole continent of Africa. Martin is one phenomenal leader. He is very humble. He's the first IMD in Uganda and first also in the East, and incoming double IMD, one of the top 10 NS in World Ventures. And he's so humble and always want to help, us also get to that level. So I have the privilege to invite IMD Martin Ndiho to take, up from here. IMD Martin, I'm going to cede the host to you now so that you can also share your screen, and then we begin the business. So let me give you the host. Please, if you are excited that IMD Martin is around, just say something. Just say something. Welcome, Martin. Martin, we love you. Just say something. Just a minute. I want to make you the host. Okay. So IMD Martin, take it over, sir.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. David King Boyson. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Doctor, and thanks so much for that amazing introduction. I really appreciate your leadership. And just the other day, was it yesterday, when you asked me to come on, jump on the call and get to do a certain topic that you mentioned, which is I don't know, for some reason I can't see myself.
We can see you.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
I can't see myself. Okay, great. I hope I'll find myself somewhere. Yeah, so when I saw your message saying you wanted me to come on and do this topic, which is something we have not done clearly. So I figured this was very important, and I also asked a couple of people to jump on the call so that we really get into it, and we might have to really, some objections that I'm going to talk about, and I know there are other new objections that are coming up because of what is happening. So we will be able to take care of all those, and I'm going to really show you the technique, a very simple technique to use in overcoming objections, okay? Let me share my screen. I put something together. I put something small together here. So it's within the fundamental closing, really, okay? The fundamental closing. Now, number one, you need to always, just a minute. See, the closing begins right from the time you are inviting a prospect, your friends or family or anyone that you're inviting to see the presentation. That is when the closing even starts. Now, you need to always assume 100% they are joining, 100% that they will be a builder. So you need to always assume that. Otherwise, whatever you will be having in your mind will determine what that person will come up with, or what some of that person that you're trying to prospect. Okay, but there are three things that they normally want to know. There are just three things that they always want to know. Does it work? Can I do it? And will you help me? Those are the three key things anyone would want to know. If you take care of these three things, when you invite them and they see the presentation, and they will want to know if it really works. You need to show that. They want to know if they can do it. You need to show them that they can do it. Show them how simple the system is. And then they need to know if you will help them. So you need to always tell them you're locking arms together, all right? Now, never ever ask a closing question that was, what did you think? Really, never ask anyone what they think. The number one reason people don't join is because they are not asked. That's a fact. The number one reason people don't join is because they are not asked. Now, after the presentation, you can call your guest over the phone or WhatsApp and ask them if they are ready to get started. So you close them, get started right away, or agree on a date to follow up. Okay? Now, this is how you ask them. This is exactly what you say to close them, to ask for a sale. So you could say something like, that was, see, after the presentation, now, when you are getting in touch with them, whether you are chatting on text, whether you call them, now you need to have the excitement within you. And this is how you start. That was amazing, wasn't it? Okay, that was amazing, wasn't it? You might have to write that, and you always read through. Just don't worry about reading. They don't even know you're reading. You could say interesting, right? Interesting, right? Amazing, isn't it? That's amazing, was it? Now, you follow with this question. What did you like best? Now, when you say, what did you like best? You are them think. Now, instead of them thinking and other things they probably saw that they might not even, they don't even remember, but they feel excited about it. So what did you like best? Now you're triggering their brain, right? It is psychological. What did you like best? Now, before they even respond, you're like, the travel, business, or both? Now you are leading them on, right? The travel, the business, or both. The travel, the money. In most cases, they will say both. Some people could say travel. Some people could say the money. You say travel, and then you look at the money. And then how about if you say the money, and then you look at travel? So most people end up saying both, okay? Now, when they say both or travel, anything, you're like, great, me too. When I saw it, this is what I wanted, okay? So then you're like, you're in, right? You're in, right? Okay, if that doesn't sound well, so you could say something like, so are you ready to get started? Okay, are you ready to get started? Okay, or you could say, let's get you started, okay? Let's get you started, okay? But you need to have excitement within you. And remember what I said in the beginning, always assume a sell, okay? Let's get you started, okay? And you shut up, you keep quiet. You don't say, are you ready to get started? Because when you get started now, no. The question is, are you ready to get started? Zip up. Even if it takes 10 seconds of silence, it is okay. Whoever speaks first loses. If you speak again, you will have lost. If they speak, trust me, they finished. In, okay? Whoever speaks first after this question loses. You don't want to lose. So are you ready to get started? You keep quiet. A human brain takes 7 seconds to make a financial decision. I mean, 7 seconds to make a financial decision. So someone is still trying to calculate in their mind, but it will take a minimum of 7 seconds for them to make a decision if they're in or out. Okay. Now, normally after you've asked this question and they feel they are in, but there's something really holding them back. Now, that is the objections. Now, that's the objections in. Now, just so you understand about objections are valid, do not freak out. Now, when anyone gives an objection, they're even trying to give you the reasons why they need this, okay? Just know that these objections are always coming, so just play the game. Play the game. Ask the right questions at the right time. Always agree with what they say. Always agree first with what they say, okay? Then clarify if the objection is real, okay? I need you to follow these simple steps. Now, their objection is the reason why you called them. That they are giving you the reason why they should even get started, okay? Always ask a question that lead. Always ask leading questions. Things like, that was amazing, isn't it? You would love to travel with us, wouldn't you? Okay, so those are leading questions. Ask them to join after answering their objection. Now, every time you answer their objection, make sure you again go back to the question. So are you ready to get started? So I'm going to do a couple of them and you will see how I do it, all right? Now, just so you know, you are looking for the right people, not everyone. You are just looking for the right people. And again, remember to be real with people. Be real with people. If you're giving examples, make sure you are giving real examples. If it is not you, if someone gives an objection of, let's say, a spouse, and you are single, you are not married, you don't have to say, like during the session that I'm going to take you through of how to overcome objections, don't give an example of you. Now you're talking about a spouse, yet you're not married, okay? You could give an example of someone that you know that is married. You give that example of their spouse who was negative about it, but then you go along, you take it along. So just be real, okay? Just be real. Now here are the objections. Now there's the most common one is money. I don't have the money, I don't have time, I want to think about it, I need to talk to my spouse, it's a pyramid scheme, I need to get my full first, and I'm comfortable with the monthly fees. What if it doesn't work for me? I have done this type of thing before. I am not a salesman, a marketer. So these are the common objections. Now you could, if you have a couple of other objections that you have, kindly put them down because we are going to sort all those things using these 3 words: feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. If you do this over and over and practice this over and over, I promise you, you will realize there is no objection out there that cannot be turned around, okay? Now, the number of people don't join is you did not create a sense of urgency. You need to create a sense of urgency. So let's get back to the objections here. Really, just a second. Okay, let's get to this objection, and then I show you how we get to overcome them. Because they are going to happen. You are going to hear these whether you like it or not. So the money objection. So someone tells you, yeah, I love it, I love the travel, I love the business, but I don't have the money. You could smile and say, wow, you know what? I hear you. And guess what? I feel you on that, because I felt the same way when I saw this. But then I found out that this is an opportunity that could help you solve that money problem. And you never have to worry about you not having the money. I mean, we are both adults. How does it make you feel that in the last 365 days, you've not been able to save at least $1 a day, $1 a day to have at least $360 this year for you to get something that you want and you're claiming you don't have the money? How does it make you feel? And what guarantee you have that in the next 6 months you won't have a problem of not having money? How about in the next 5 years? Is it something you really celebrate? Do you celebrate the fact that you don't have money? Do you celebrate whenever you give out a statement like that? Is it something you are proud of? See, when I saw this, I realized I needed something to change in my life. And when I got started, I promise you, life has been different. Now, here is a plan, here is a concept that could help you overcome that problem. And I am here to support you and help you get through this. So, my brother, my sister, are you ready to get started? So, do you see? I went on and gave them an example, told them about the objection of not having money, and then I said this is something we can do together. We work together. We lock arms together. We do this and get to solve that problem so that you never ever have to worry about money anymore. Because clearly, if you have been doing something for the last 5, 10 years and you're still complaining about money, they need to do something. See, Albert Einstein said doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, is insanity. Now, if you have been working for 10 years or 5, and right now you even have $200 to get started on something that gives you a shot at $50,000 a month, how much longer are you going to do what you're doing right now? You being that is always dreamed of. Okay, so I am really saying so many things here because this is the same way I do overcome objections. So if you're listening, if you get something that you want or you've been looking for, make sure you write it down so you can always use it. You can even use it word for word, okay? So that is the money objection. So how about the time objection? This is so common as well. Time, you see, I love it. I love the travel. So you say, are you ready to get started? Yes, but I don't have the time. You're like, wow. I mean, time, clearly, I feel you on that. You know what? I felt the same way when I saw this, until I found out that, hey, see, if I don't have time now, and I've not had time in the last couple of years, when am I ever going to get time? And then I decided for me to really change that narrative, I had to do something different. And that is why I got started here. So, my sister, my brother, is it something you celebrate that you don't have time for yourself, you don't have time for your family? Because to be honest with you, life is too short and no one is coming to this life alive anyway. So what you do matters. Are you spending time with your family or are you spending time at work and only giving little time to your family? So how is it going to look like in the next 10 years? How is it going to look like in the next 20 years? Is it something you will celebrate? Because remember, this is where you need to really create memories with your loved ones that will last a lifetime. Now, here, the reason I'm showing you this concept is this will help you get time freedom. Get time freedom. get to spend time with your family? How would it make you feel if you got enough time to spend with your family and get to create memories and not have to worry about you not ever having time to yourself? That is why I'm here to share this with you, because it has changed mine. I now have a lot of time for my, I spend a lot of time with my family. I see my kids, I see them waking up, I see them, I tuck them in, and because of this concept, because when I found it, that is what really has changed my life. So, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? Okay. You always have to, when you overcome the objection, you always have to ask the question, are you ready to get started? So that is the time bit. Then the people who want to think about it. Now, in most cases, it depends on how you know each other. If you're very close, you could have something like, okay, you could go the feel, felt, found way. That is one way, okay? As in feel, felt, found. Actually, feel, felt, found works on every objection, okay? But if you know each other like very close, sometimes, when you do it over and over and over, so you start having it like this and it starts coming naturally. So normally for me, if it is someone that I know and they tell me they want to think about it, I could go like, oh, is that a polite way of saying no to me? Is that just your polite way of saying no to this? And then I say, no, of course not, of course not. But you see, I have to go ahead and think about it and think about it. So you see, you've confused them. You've already put them on a spotlight. Like, deep down, to say no, now they are selling to you that they are not saying no to this. So when you bring them back, okay, when you bring them back to the system, after they've said, I want to think about it, even if they had a no in their mind, but they just wanted to be polite. Now you say, is that a polite way of saying no? Because trust me, either way it is fine with me. All right. Now, when you say it that way, they're like, this guy is going to think I'm saying no. So they come back to the system. See, sometimes we need to act as leaders. We need to be leaders. We need to lead people because they want it so bad, but they don't. If they hear the right words, they will definitely be in. Now, I remember when I saw this concept, it's not like I thought that was the time I would get started into it and actually put, but because of how the guy kept pushing and pushing and coming through to me, I found of getting to listen into the presentation. And the moment I listened I listened to the presentation, I was in and it was done, and I couldn't believe I just made a purchase of $511 at the time, of course, 511 for a platinum, and I got started. But you see, the thing is, had he kept chatting with me, I probably would never have joined, right? So the think about it question, the think about it objection, you could start it like that. And by the way, every other objection, you could start it like, is that your polite way? Depending on how close you are, is that a polite way of no, or do you really want to do this? Is that your polite way of saying no, or you really would love to do this? Now, make them sell to you that they actually want it. Make them sell you that they actually want it. It's time. You're like, well, is that a polite way of saying no to me? And then let them sell to you that they want it so bad, then them feel felt, found. So see, when as you keep doing this over and over, it starts happening naturally. Okay. Now the think about it, yeah, I feel you, I feel the same way until I found out that sometimes opportunities come to us in a way that we least expect them to come, because we are praying for something. We pray for things to come our way, but we never know how they'll come. And when I saw this, I felt the same way. I felt I should have thought about it. But I mean, after getting to see the other people that had been doing it for years, I realized, thinking about what, because I get to learn this on job anyway. It's the same thing as you getting married. You go to church and you say, I do. You don't even know what you're going for, right? But they ask you and you're like, I do. Yeah. Will you take so and so to be your lawfully wedded husband till death do you part? You're like, I do. You don't even know what's there, but you get there and you get to learn what marriage is about. Okay, so it's not like you first learn about it or you're going to do your research and everything, and especially this goes to do with the people that want to do research as well. So in most cases, someone telling you they want to think about it, they're unsure if they can do it or if it works or if you can help them. So make sure you touch all those three aspects and begin. The someone who says, I want to talk to my spouse, that's very funny actually, because see, you could, depending on how close you are with the person, if you are very close, you could even go like, oh, wow. So let me ask, every time have you bought your spouse a present? They're like, yeah, I have. I mean, wow. Did you really go ahead to ask them what present you could buy for them? Or you told them, hey, I'm going to surprise you with presents? They're like, no, of course not, you don't. So how about you just take this as a prayer to your spouse? I've never seen any guy go to their wife and they're like, hey, I'm taking you to Santorini. And the wife says, no. I have to think about it. Oh, they're all excited about that. See, this is a product that everyone wants. See, I am really being broad here. I'm not, you understand, I am trying to bring the whole picture of into it, and then of course using this feel found formula, because it works on anything, on any objection. But I'm trying to put in a few things just so you broaden your thinking and so you can be able to use anything that you come across, okay? So the spouse issue, you could do that. And then you say, how do you treat this like a present that you're buying for your spouse? Okay, that is one. And then the other, you could say, you could go the feel found way, and of course you feel this, you feel him, you agree with him. Oh yes, I totally understand, and that is very, because you have to really consult your spouse. That is wonderful. But you know what? I felt the same way until I got started, until I found out sometimes they have to see the presentation for them to understand what this is about. Because had I, like for me personally, had I gone ahead to consult my spouse without her even getting to see the presentation, $511 was too much at the time for her to accept to sign up for this without her seeing the presentation. And again, you don't know, see, when God puts something in you and shows you something, he doesn't go ahead and show it to everyone. Otherwise, everyone would be rich in this world. Okay, so God could show you something and it's only you that has seen it. And should you show it to your spouse, maybe your spouse isn't ready to see that, or even receive it. So at that point in time, they could be a dream stealer. They could be a killer. So sometimes you don't have to really, but you don't tell them that. You don't tell them that hey, no. You don't go on to say that. You could say, I feel you. I felt the same way. I found out when I got started that when I got home and shared, oh, you could even use my story, that he signed up and he told the spouse he had signed up, but now look at them. They are all international marketing directors. The company bought them a home. You could talk, you could even use Dr. David King Boyson's story, because I'm told the spouse said those things, but now she loves it. And guess what? She's coming to launch the palm in Dubai. We have about 106 days to go. Okay, so sometimes your spouse, or the other way you can handle it is you can say, what are the chances that could get your spouse looking at the presentation? Because when you go and you try to present or even narrate what you've seen and what got you excited, they might never get it until they see the presentation. So what are the chances that we could actually present to your spouse well for her to see this? Okay, so don't pick them out so fast, because sometimes even the spouses, especially if you're a guy, your spouse can love it way more than the guy, right? Or the other way around. Now, that is feel, failed, found. So let's go to the pyramid scheme. So someone comes off and says, it's one of those pyramid things. You're like, oh yes. You could even smile and say, yeah, you know what, I feel you. You know, I totally hear you on that, because guess what? When I saw this back, a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, I definitely knew this was a pyramid scheme. I felt the same way until I found out that, hey, pyramid schemes are illegal. Globally, pyramid schemes are illegal. Now, most people don't know the definition of a pyramid scheme. See, a pyramid scheme is when there's exchange of money without product or service. Okay. Now, our product is Dream Trips. Are we legit? 100%. We also have a service which is Roya, the booking engine. Are we legit? 100%. So we are not a pyramid scheme. Okay, so you could educate the uneducated, because most people think having this kind of shape is what pyramid. Nah, not really, because I mean everything then would be a pyramid. The government would be a pyramid. All the organizations would be a pyramid. But don't try to be defensive. Say, hey, no, it's not a pyramid. How about you in your office? ATD? No. Be a conversation of much later, just like a class. You could even do away with it. You might not even mention anything to do with it, but just the definition of a pyramid scheme is just enough. Exchange of money without a product or service. That's just enough. Let them know, hey, we are legit. All right. So get my 4 first. Yes, I want to get in, but I want to get my 4 first. You always have to agree with them, smile, laugh, and by the way, if you're having fun with the objections, your closing ratio will go up. Okay, so you can laugh at it and you're like, oh, wow, you want to get your 4 first? I'm on the call. Can you hear me now? I think I went off. Did I go off?
We can hear you.
Just a minute.
We can hear
perfect, you. Perfect. Okay, I thought I was using the network on. So getting my 4 first, you're like, yeah. So you see, when I got started, I thought it would have been okay for me to get my 4 first and then I get started. But you see, I realized when you can't tell something, you're not part of. See, what if one of the people that you're going to first look for asks you if you're already a part of it, and you say, not yet, I want to first get my 4, what are they likely to do? So look there for. So with the mentality you will go out there with the mindset you'll go out there with to first get your 4, all those 4 will also want to go and get their 4 first. So you realize you'll be looking for 16 people before it could even get worse. Those 16 people might also want to go out and get their first 4. So in essence here, you might never get started. You have probably 1,000 people then for you to get started, which definitely is realistic. So how about if you came in, we work together, I support you, I hold your hand, your why becomes my why, and I help you get your for, that way it would be easier because you're already in. Okay. Now, going out there to first get your for, everyone will want to first get their for, and you might never get started. So do you want to work with me, or you want to first go get your for? Period. Are you ready to get started? Okay. So monthly fees. See, this is a funny one because with monthly fees, people pay fees for anything. TV, rent. People are always paying monthly fees, phones, whatever. Like, people are always paying monthly fees. So this shouldn't be a problem, really, because either way, here when you pay the monthly, that's still your money. You're saving. I know we don't have a savings card. Hey, you're saving for your holiday. This is your money. Now, the other day, I got someone from Sierra Leone who called me and said, I'm so frustrated. I've not gotten my for. I'm afraid I'm going to make a month, and I don't want to repay my monthly fees, gotten my 4 people, so I'm very frustrated. So I asked him one question. I'm like, so tell me, why did you join World Ventures? Did you join World Ventures to stop paying monthly fees? Or did you join World Ventures for the product and the business opportunity it gives you? He thought through it. He's like, yeah, you're right. I joined to travel and I joined to make money. So I'm like, so why are you worried in your first 1 month? You are worried that you're going to pay monthly fees. So what I tell people is, I need you to program yourself like you're going to be paying monthly fees for the next 1 year. Because either way, it is your money. Now, if you are myopic, if you only think if you are myopic, really, trust me, monthly fees will kick you out of this before you know it. Now, I joined 5 years ago. It's coming to 6 years. Right now, what I make weekly could pay my monthly fees for a full, no, for the entire 5 years. Okay? For the entire 5 years. So what if I had quit then because of monthly fees? Where would I be? You see, you are looking at this concept, but now I'm looking to members here. First of all, you as a member, you need to have that feeling about monthly fees to actually get to overcome that objection. But if you yourself, you have that fear of monthly fees, then you might not really overcome that objection properly. So if you yourself get it within you that, no, this is not really a problem, it is actually to my benefit, then you can go ahead and overcome that objection. So when they say, no, but you see the monthly fees, you could tell them, yeah, I feel you on that. I felt the same way when I saw the monthly fees, until I found out that, hey, if I enroll 4 people, I get my monthly fees waived. And again, looking at the world with 8 billion people, I mean, I can always get way more than 4 people, okay? And again, even if I was paying my monthly fees, it is still my money. I am saving for a vacation. So I will use these points to go on holiday. It's a win-win situation. So my brother, my sister, are you ready to get started? Okay? Are you ready to get started? So let them come in without having the fear of monthly fees. Get it out of them. You have to first get it out of yourself before you actually overcome that objection. Because when you do that, trust me, even when you speak, the person will feel you. Okay. So what if it doesn't work me? This is a good one that is here. Oh man, what if this doesn't work for me? Then I'm like, so what if it does? What if it does? I do ask that. But I mean, it's not the right way to do. But if the person, if we are very close, I could ask that. So what if it does? All right. So, but here you can go like, yeah, I feel you, and I I felt the same way. So and I didn't think this was cut out for this. because I had never done network marketing. I had never done anything like this. So I did not think in my wildest dream that this could really work for me. Yeah. So until I found out that, hey, there's a system in place. And that is a system that anyone, you don't need a degree to follow this. You don't need any education to follow this. All you've got to do is just be coachable and teachable, be humble, and trust me, if you follow that simple system, success is certain. We all have the same system. So if you're ready to follow the system, it will work for you without you getting to reinvent the wheel. Because the only way for you to fail is when you decide to reinvent the wheel. But otherwise, this is a platform that anyone can use from any part of the world, whether you're black, whether you're white, or whatever, you can still use the same system. So, are you ready to get started? Mhm. I have done this type of thing before. I have done this type of thing before. Sure, you have. How come you never told me about it? But you know what? I feel you on that because I've seen people that have done things like this before, but when they get here, it is a completely different thing because this is travel and this is business. See, I felt, see, when I saw it personally, I didn't have any experience in network marketing. So if you've had an experience with any network marketing company out there, you could bring in felt found. I feel you. I felt the same way because I had been in Herbalife. I had been in Forever Living until I found out that here we don't sell lotions and potions. We sell beaches and oceans. Okay, we don't have to hold any, knowing that this is a juice, whatever to do, nothing. Travel. This is vacation. See, this is something, travel is, if you went to a beach today, tell me you wouldn't want to go back tomorrow or even next weekend. You would. But what would stop you? Most likely time or money. But otherwise, if you had a chance to be there every weekend, come on, who wouldn't want this? So again, the other way that I actually handle this with specific people, I've done this type of thing before. I go straight in and I'm like, well, you've not done this with me. You haven't tried this with me. Are you ready to start it? Now, that comes with experience. That comes with experience. But in the beginning, the baby steps, please use feel, felt, found. Feel, and you'll be able to close people. I'm not a salesman or a marketeer. You can laugh your lungs out at this. I'm not a salesman or a marketeer. I always tell them, wow, you just sold that to me. You just sold to me that you're not a salesman. How amazing. Like saying to me that you're not a salesman. You are selling to me and you expect me to buy that you are not a salesman or a marketeer. You see? So, but again, that also comes with experience. But come on, like if you can actually make fun of this whole thing, trust me, you will enjoy this and you will legacy. But you could go ahead and do the feel, felt, found. Okay? The feel, felt, found. Oh, yes, I feel you. I felt the same way. I didn't think I could sell anything. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think I could sell my name until I found out that, hey, this product that I'm telling people, everyone already wants it. It's like me coming to you and convincing you and your family to go on a holiday. Really? I don't have to come and convince you. You already want it. Now, you are not going to be a salesman. You are just going to share this concept. And either way, it is fine. Whether they say no or yes, it is all okay. There's absolutely no pressure. Okay. So this is how, I don't know if I've really tried to break that down. And I don't know if this makes so much sense now. And see, what you need to understand is every objection, just think about any objection and just put feel, felt, found. You realize it comes through. It comes. I fully agree with them. It's back here. It's back here. Yeah, don't freak out. Know they are coming, so play the game. Ask the right questions at the right time. Always agree with what they say. Don't be on the defensive, all right? Now, clarify the objection clarify if the objection is real. Now, their objection is the reason why you call them. Okay? Now, always ask the question that lead. Okay, ask the question that lead. Don't ask them things like, "What do you think?" or just say this. I mean, this was amazing, wasn't it? So that is a leading question. Okay, so ask them to join after their objection. Now you're looking for the right people. Remember, not everyone, and be real with people. Okay, so do we have any questions? Are you ready to get started? The number 2 reason people don't join is because you didn't create a sense of urgency. Sense of urgency immediately after the Zoom call, you are calling and having the objections handled. Okay, make sure you handle all those objections as soon as possible. Okay, now when they're in, welcome them with excitement, have them sign themselves up on Zoom with guidance so they get to see that this thing is real. Okay, and then when you're doing that, they actually get to learn on how to sign themselves up. Okay, the app and the WV mobile app. They could also download SoundCloud, because then we have lots of audio trainings that we do send, but they're on SoundCloud, most of them. Make sure they download. Then schedule a fast start training for them. Fast start training. We have NMO, do that every Sunday, but of course it is really summarized. But you need to also arrange. In fact, I commend Dr. David King Boyson for these things like these together to have his team trained, because you need to get leaders. Now, when you have leaders, so people that have this knowledge, it is game over. See, the time I spoke, Nicholas would always be at my residence. He would come in. There are things that I told him, that I showed him, that I've not even managed to get time to show the entire team. But I mean, once we do these kinds of meetings, these kinds of short trainings, I always get out there, pour a lot of info out there, and whenever it happens, then it would help lots of people also pass on the same message to the others. Okay, help them make a list of 20, book their first launch meeting at time X. Now, everyone that joins, make sure you help them meeting. By launching their business means they could hire 10, 20 people, and then you do a private Zoom for them. Okay, so we have 10 a.m., we have 3 p.m., and we have 3 p.m. So in between, there's too much time. So anyone could get a slot and someone could do the presentation for them. Now, when you do that, then you try to close them. See, the reason you do that is because now you understand your friends and family might not necessarily join you, but at least you tell them first. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that helped grow my business, because when I showed them first and they all rejected me, it gave me the passion to go there and prove them wrong. And I've done that perfectly fine. I'm doing it the second time, and I'll take pictures. Now, the thing is, you need to develop a thick skin of a rhino. You need to have zero emotional attachment. Understand one thing, not everyone wants you to win. And again, the number one reason your friends and family won't join you is because they think they are smarter than you, and you can't be the one bringing something that will save them. It to be them showing you what will save you, but not you bring it to them. That's just what it is. I mean, it is what it is. All right. So with that said, let me see if any other objections in chats. Travel is now objection. Travel is down. Travel is down. Yeah, I agree with you. I hear you. I feel you on that, actually. I felt the same way when this COVID came around, until I found out that, hey, in as much as travel is down, the opportunity is not. The business is still ongoing. So many people are now at home, but guess what? immediately after this pandemic, what is the number one thing people will want to do? People will want to travel. So how about you get now so we do the business together, and the moment the travel opens up, we're traveling the world. Some people are going to sit home and spend all their savings, and when this pandemic is down, they won't even be moving anywhere, because guess what? They won't even have the money. But we have travel, we have business. So how about we help you make an extra income through the second opportunity for this, the opportunity for this, and then we get back to travel. Like now, most of us have booked a dream trip in Dubai. We are going to stay at Atlantis the Palm. Look at how many people out there have been to Dubai and how many have actually stayed at Atlantis the Palm. Now, after a pandemic, when people are supposed to be, getting back their finances together, but you're going to spend 5 days at Atlantis, okay, just having fun. And that's just the first dream trip. And then we have a lot of more dream trips that are lined up. So clearly, you tell them about the business. The travel is down, yes, you agree with them, and you tell them you felt the same way, but you found out that, hey, in as much as the travel is down, the business part, and now we are moving with the business part. When travel is back, because definitely it will, we'll again start traveling. And of course, how many people even join, how many people book travel, and how many people plan to travel immediately? Very few. Most people will plan to travel, like right now, they'll plan maybe like 3 months ahead, maybe like 6 months ahead, maybe like 1 year ahead. Some people save to travel once a year, or maybe once every 2 years. So you joining today doesn't really mean you have to travel tomorrow. You get in now, and then we do the business part as you plan your travel. Then when that time comes, you can travel. So, ready to get started? So Valerie, that was from you. And let me see who else. People are not traveling now. Are you not seeing what the world is going through? Yes, I hear you. I feel you. But if people are not traveling now, see, what are you doing about it? We have the travel, we have the business part. I mean, that's more like the same question, really. We have the business part. How about we make the money? Because let's face it, if you're seated at home right now, you're going to keep spending money. See, you give an example like this one, like especially this could hand in hand with the one for the money objection. And you could go like, tell me, in the last 2-3 months, haven't you spent like $2 and you have nothing to show for it? Most people have spent that money and you keep spending that money anyway. Then you're like, in the next 3-4 months, you are going to spend the same amount of money, but trust me, you probably won't even remember it in a couple of days after. So for here, this gives you a shot at $50,000 a month. Okay. So, and your why becomes my why. We look arms together, we work together. I will hold hand. I will support you. I will get through your contacts. You bring your contacts. Let me show them. Let me present to them. Let me help you. Let's do 3-way calls. Should they have any questions, I will be there to answer the questions on your behalf as you go along and get to learn how this works. All right. So are you ready to get started? Okay, great. So this is too good to be true. I doubt it works. Oh, yes. I hear you on that. I feel you on that. On the continent of Africa, we've lived in very hard times that we think anything good is not meant for us. We've lived in very hard times that we think nothing good can ever come our way. But you know what? I feel you, because I felt the same way. This was too good to be true. until I found out that, hey, what you see is what you get. You know, I have been on a dream trip, or I have seen my friends on a dream trip. I've seen a couple of people go on dream trips. And as a matter of fact, I have booked my first ever dream trip. I will be in January, I will be in Dubai, staying at Atlantis, the Palm, for 5 days and 4 nights. Or my friend, Dr. Boyson, booked that trip at Atlantis, the Palm. He paid only $100, $125, or maybe $200 for 5 days and 4 nights. I have a friend, Martin, who paid zero. He's going with the entire family. He paid zero because of our travel bonus program. Okay. My friend Kapute, he booked the same trip. His company for 2 years. He paid zero because of our travel bonus program. See, I realized how real this was. Okay. Now, would you love to do something that is good but sucks? You know, that also comes with experience. Yeah. Or would you rather do something that is too good to be true? What if it's true and you miss out anyway? You know, there are also other ways through which you can actually look at it. And as the conversation goes on, and you can always really, but make sure you are always focused on, every time you give an answer, you close the person, you ask the closing question, the buying question. After overcoming the objection, you're like, are you ready to get started? Okay. Perfect. So let me see if there's any other question here. I doubt if it works.
Okay.
I doubt if it works. Well, yes, doctor, you're saying something?
No, go ahead. If you are done.
Yeah, so I think it was a continuation of this is too good to be true. I doubt if it works. Well, I think I talked about that as well. You see, Marcus Seta here would say, what if it does? And you miss out. What if it does and you miss out? But always stick to feel, felt, found, feel, felt, found, feel, felt, found. When you get used to feel, felt, found, you will see your closing ratio go really up. And the moment you get used to this, you get used to it, and you have gone on dream trips here and there. So it builds your confidence as well. But nonetheless, even if you haven't gone on any dream trip, or even you haven't even signed up your first person, don't worry, you can use other people's stories. I took my first dream trip when I was an R&D. Pictures, using other people's pictures. But I always went for trainings, South Africa, where I always went for these trainings, and I would take pictures during the trainings, right? Now, my first dream trip with my family, I was an R&D, but I had always used other people's pictures. I'm like, here are my friends. They're in Santorini. These are my friends. They are in France. These are my friends here. They're like, but I'm not seeing you. Well, so do you want to see me there, or do you want to see both of us there together? Okay. How do you come in and then we get to go together? Most people didn't join because I wasn't in the pictures. Come on. They look at me right now and they can't even, I don't even know what their minds like, really. See, again, you need such people in your life because they motivate you. You get to go ahead and push through this thing. Then when they get to see you much later, you know, it's like getting into a damfo, getting into a matatu. In Kenya, in Nigeria, they call it a damfo. In Ghana, they call it a trotro. In Kenya, they call it a matatu. In Uganda, we call it a taxi. It's like getting into any of those, and you have your KFC and you just open it and everyone gets to smell it. Yeah, it is. I say they get to smell it. That's exactly what is happening to all the people that ignored me, all the people that rejected me, all the people I tried to show this thing to, and they didn't really see where this was headed. Right now, they are looking at it's just been 5 years. Some people have worked for 10, 20 years. 10 years, especially my peers, they've worked 10 years, 14 years, and they're still struggling. I've done this for just 5 years, and I'm clocking $1 million in the next couple of days. $1 million in 5 years.
Wow.
And after that, it is every 12 months, $1 million.
Wow.
Can you do that? Now you say no to this, what are you going for? Like seriously, everything you're doing, whatever job you're doing right now, you are talking to people. How about you get good at something worth getting good at? You are going to talk to people regardless. How about you share this with them? If they say no, not a problem. There are 8 billion people globally. We just haven't even started yet. We are just building a foundation. It will be so sad if you quit on you right now, because I promise you, in the next 5 years, you will wish you had stayed the course. Because what we are about on the continent of Africa alone, 1.2 billion people, we are changing the game. We are changing the game. It's all about you talking to people, whether you know them or not. I've built my entire team on cold market. Cold market, those are people that I don't know. I speak to David King Boyson like we've met. Now, most of you people on this call, probably when I was in Ghana, I met Dr. David King Boyson. We haven't met physically, but we talk like we are buddies. We've met, that's just how it is. You are getting people on Zoom, people that you haven't met, but you will meet, okay? My first time to meet Dr. David King Boyson will be in January at Atlantis, the Palm, on a extreme trip.
Yes.
On extreme trip. Can you believe that? All right? So the thing is, there are so many people out there that you know on a first name basis. Show them this deal so that they never ever get to hold it against you for knowing about this thing and keeping it to yourself and not telling them. Remember, it's not a guarantee that they will join you, and that is cool. But when you eventually get your thing together, get people to build a team with, they will be the people coming running, and they will be so proud. Some of them see you win, they'll be people to say, that is my friend, that is my brother, that is my sister. Where are you when I showed you this thing? Okay. So Dr. David King Boyson, thank you so much for having me on the call.
Wow. Okay, Martin, just give me the host and let me just ask your view, just a quick view of something. And because most of our members have problems with that. So, okay, so I'm back as the host. But if please say something to Martin, say something to Martin. Yeah, Joseph from UK says this is amazing. 1 million, let me tell you guys, this is the first time Martin is revealing that in a couple of days he's going to hit $1 million. This is the first platform I've seen him talk about this, because it's on its way coming, first couple of days. At the end of today, I believe that we're going to hear some news and Martin will be recognized in World Ventures globally, having earned $1 million. All right. Now you are talking to someone who started and built all his market on cold market. He never knew anybody. He didn't have friends. Friends in Uganda, they ganged against him, and it was like he was an outcast. But he said, no, the reason why I should succeed is your rejections.
Yeah.
And then capitalized on the rejections and decided to succeed. I had a similar experience. One of our lecturers told us that this PhD you aren't going to finish. Do you think you can finish this in 3 years? Even in 5 years, you're never going to finish this. You know what I did? I was just talking to Dr. Noble when we came out and told him that what this guy said it doesn't make sense. It's nonsense. Not knowing the professor was standing behind me. Listening, just imagine. So when Noble was saying that, hey, so I turned and I saw it. So I said, yes, I think what you said was nonsense. They said, do you mean, are you talking to me? I said, yes. I said, but how did you become a professor? You went through this meal, isn't it? Let me tell you, if it takes half a person to succeed, I am going to succeed. Watch me. When I said that and came out and I asked myself, you spoke to the professor. You know, you spoke to that professor. You need to get this work done. See, I was part of cohort 2, but I finished with cohort 1. Boom, I was out. And my thesis they gave me pass unconditionally. In other words, my defense, I had what? Distinction. Because I said to myself, I'm not going to allow this guy to drag me down. See, what he did, about 70% of the guys, they fell out. They couldn't finish. As we speak, they've never been able to finish. So that's how you can turn rejection to something that is good. And Martin is a walking, I don't know how to put him. It's a living testimony of that. And we are privileged to have him around to just pour this thing on us. Now, I wasn't expecting the call to Max. No, you know the Pareto analysis, the 80-20 rule, you always have that. But if you are here, you heard this thing live. This is not recorded. Martin has just told you what you need to do. So you need to look at the bigger picture. Now, Martin, look at something. This is one of our colleagues who joined World Ventures in the past 5 months. You can see the account. All right? This lady has paid monthly fees. Monthly fees for God knows how long. Let's say 5 months. But Martin, if you see carry over right volume, weekly volume is 205.
Wow.
Martin, what does this mean?
Yes.
I want you to tell them. What does this mean? She is having a carried over volume of 205. We have people like that in my network. Some are having even 300, and they are deciding to quit. Just tell them the story, sir.
So honestly, an account like this, I wish she could give it to me. Seriously, like, you know, I don't know, like, because this money, God is giving you money and forcing you, please have this money, have it. You don't want to pick it. This is money on the table. Imagine one platinum on the left, just one platinum on the left, $100. You put another platinum on the left, another $100. That's $200 for you. And another platinum, come on, like another platinum, making them 3. A Friday like this, that doubles the cycle bonuses to 300. So you have 350, $450 by just signing up 3 platinums. And again, even if you're doing gold and you're just putting them on the left, that is money, because that the team is already built for you. All you have to do is match it side and make money. But someone goes to work at 8 in the morning, leaves at 5 o'clock in the evening, stressed, tired, in traffic, and can't just get a phone to dial and call the friends, to put them on a Zoom call, then do 3-way calls without even airtime, just using WhatsApp call to do a 3-way call, and you sign up some people and make this money. How about if you do this for a year? You're comfortable working for 9 years, 10 years, 20 years, then retiring to be.
Wow.
This is money. This is money right there.
Martin, I can tell you, I have I have over 60 people holding volumes like this in my team.
Wow.
All right. And for me, when they quit, I say you can leave. You know why? Someone else. When I hit my first IMD, your account will be my double IMD. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what
That
I
account
did
that you've left will be my double IMD. All right.
Yeah, that's what I did. So many people that quit, all those accounts are there for me to take. I mean, I just look at my back office and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what if these guys really knew what this would turn out to be and they stayed to get to make this money? Because, you know, when I always say, eventually it ceases to be about the money because you get used to it. Because when you're paid every week, you're paid every 15th, you're paid 5 times a month, you get used to this money and it ceases to be about the money. You get used, I promise you. Because right now, when I look at all the accounts that I'm about to get, that I'm about to acquire, and I'm going to, in the next 5 years, as we get 150 IMDs, I'll probably be 15 times IMD.
Wow.
Times. Now, you can imagine what that means. See, this is all about freedom, about getting freedom. Now, when you tell people about this, and you see the beauty about this is when someone comes in and quits, even if they quit, don't worry, because you're still earning from them, even when they quit. Why would anyone come in here and quit? Like, why would you quit? Because you quit and you go and you do what? What happens, by the way, when you quit? What happens?
Nothing. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. You go there, you keep seeing the same faces, you see people out there traveling well, having fun, making money, and you're feeling bad. Do you know what people who quit actually do? They're always praying they fail, we fail. They're always praying we fail. Now, why would you pray against God's blessing? Yeah, these guys should fail, these guys will. The more you pray like that, the more the guys win. Why don't you just join us? If you can't beat them, join them. Why can't you come in and let's do this? If you need help, if you need help, we are here to help all of you. So just come in. If you need help, we are ready to support you and help you. But if you cannot be supported and helped, there's nothing we can do. All you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. But we are here to support everyone, and everyone is, all of you. There is nothing special about myself. There's nothing special about Dr. David King. All of us just following the same system. You just have to be in. You just have to be in. You just have to make a decision. You're always one decision away from changing your life. The 5 years are going to pass regardless. Whether you decide to quit now, before you know it, it will be 2025. And when we get to 2025 and we have 150 IMDs,
because he wants to be respected.
you're like,
Sorry. I think
yes, you could have been one of them. You dropped the ball.
So hello. Yeah. We are